Good morning, guys. Okay, I have had a lot of requests to show how I put my little OMP M2. It comes in this little shell together into a little Trex250 little scale body. I'll place it a couple of videos up for the guys to see, and they all requested for me just to show how I did it and what were the modifications I had to do and so on. Actually, not much. The little body of the OMP fits perfectly into the little 450 frame as it is. As you can see at the back there, I cut nothing. There are a couple of things that I did. Firstly, let's begin at the tail. If you see the tail bracket, just move it closer. There, I changed from the left-hand side, I swapped it over to the right-hand side so that the little back tail blade does not catch onto the body. Then I also went and I had a cutout. I made a little cutout there, but I'll show that to you in a better sequence when I take it apart. Just let me give you a roundabout showing how it looks like. This is a little OMP inside there, the clearance on top. I made a little spacer to lift the body up so that you have enough clearance for your swash plate to move up and down. And basically it's very simple. It's balanced perfectly with battery standard. Everything is standard. I didn't do anything to the little OMP frame as it stands. This is for the Trex250 little scale body. If you can still find them, they are lovely. Magnets clip the nose in front, and that is how it is. So let me start with taking it apart, and then I will show you how I did it step by step. Right, let's start with showing you. This is basically the standard OMP M2 Explorer. Awesome little heli, flies like a dream, but I thought let me just do something different and spice it up. So what I firstly did is obviously take off the canopy, put it on one side. I took off the two little bolts that the canopy clips on there. I removed the landing gear, and then I started with the tail. Move the tail fin, and then just loosen the motor. Now if you look closely, the mounting bracket is on the right hand side if you look down the shaft. Okay, but I placed it on the other side for obvious reasons. If you look at there, your motor will mount this side further so that it does not hit the back part of your little scale fuzz at the back. So if you leave your bracket on the left hand side, then it will hit the back part. Now let's go to the canopy. Only things that I did on the canopy was of the Trex250 is I dremeled out a little part there just to give you some clearance. It's about 1 centimeter dremeled out. I'm going to talk in centimeters, not in inches and stuff. We in South Africa, so we work with centimeters and millimeters. So yes, first part was to dremel that part out there, and then on the top where your swash plate comes out, the standard part was going all the way around from there to there. So what I did was I just enhanced it, or just dremeled it in a bit, so that your lever at the back, sorry about that, this little part can have clearance, your swash plate at the back, so that it can move. So just measure exactly what space you would need that side. I would say that's about 1.5 centimeters to the back. And guys, that was about it. Nothing else further. Just remember, when you get your kit, the landing gear is all separate. Make sure you glue them in tightly with proper glue. I used old glue that I had, old glue, but it didn't bond properly. So the first time I took it up, these legs were very loose and it wobbled. It gave a massive vibration in the whole system. Right, now when you have taken everything apart, as I said, your tail, your brackets your undercarriage. What I did was then I bought myself 2 parts of aluminium angle line, just 2 parts. You can go 10 centimeters. I actually preferred mine a little bit longer. I took 12 centimeters, and you cut it to the space that basically you want. Let me show you what I did here. Firstly, I measured the space so that it goes in, so that your swash plate just basically sticks out. I will show you now. Mine is from the bottom to the top 28 millimeters, and the side part is 10 millimeters. 28 by 10 by 12 centimeters. 12 centimeters works out better because you can drill extra and add a little bit more weight in front. What I did was, let me show you a bit closer. I measured it exactly, the 2 holes. I just dremelled in or cut in a little gap there for those 2 top nuts to slide into, and 2 little holes. And I use a little servo gear, servo arms. I just cut them off so that you got a nice spacing like a thick washer. These bolts I actually took from the undercarriage. They are nice and longer, so you don't need to buy extra screws. So those screws that were fastened from the undercarriage, I put inside there just to extend them, and they work great. I drilled a couple of extra holes just to make it lighter, save on weight and so on, but this heli has got ample power to pull anything through. So once you've done both sides, 10 by 28 by 12, and just make your markings, set it up nicely, that height works out perfectly. Then if you look at the tail section slides right through. You don't need to take it off. Just slide it in there, goes in, and it comes out exactly at the back. It comes out nice and easy at the back, so you don't need to take the tail off or the tail motor off. Comes out at the back this side. Right. As you can see, there's ample space as well. Oh yes, in the beginning I did remove that little pipe that supports your cable going through to your receiver, so that the tail cables are a little bit slightly longer. They can handle it and it comes through. Now if you look at the back side, the reason why I put the bracket on the other side is when you put your motor on, there is enough clearance so that it does not touch the body. It goes past. Let me just get it to the camera nicely. Up, you'll see it will clear that side. And then, yes, if you look at the swash, I'll just get it onto the marking holes here in front. That's about there. Right. Try and get it just under level on the canopy so that your canopy brackets can clip on nicely. So that is about your height you want. You want this nice and level, and it must just clear the canopy there. Then that will be ample space for your swash blade to move. Another thing I forgot to mention is I dremeled out a little bit of the sides on top here so that your swash blade on the left and right side can have clearance, so that it doesn't touches the side, causes vibration and gets stuck. That's just a little bit amount that you can take off there. Right, once you've mounted that there, slide your back part in at the back. Very important thing, just get your landing or your spacer in the middle nice and level. Then your heli is basically just about there. One very important thing you must remember, I picked this up when I wanted to fly it as well. Support your tailpiece, because once you've tied it in and you want to start up, this is going to start vibrating. And if it knocks on the side, you will not be able to fly it. It transparent the vibration right through the whole system. So just make sure that what I did was I was at the field and I had a couple of earphone sets, and I took apart the earphone sponges. I just forced them into the side and it worked perfectly. It flew. But when you have the kit, it will come with a little nice solid sponge that you can cut to size and force around the basically the OMP tail shaft, so it doesn't touch the body and cause that kind of vibration. That vibration will take you down for sure. And that is basically what I did. Oh yes, afterwards, once you have assembled your little heli, very important, put your battery in, see everything, and see that it balances fine. Balancing, lift it up, it must stand level. So if you use a little bit of thicker aluminium spacing and so on, just get your balancing up to a point. Take your blades as what I did now, hold them both sides, and your heli shouldn't go backwards or it shouldn't be frontwards, it should just hang in the middle level. Then you know your heli is good to go. So now what I'll do is I will now reassemble it. Nothing else I can think of. Oh yes, one more thing is when you make your markings and you've got your little spacer in between, make your marks on your aluminum plate where you're going to bolt it through. I just bolt it in with normal little grub screws there. Drill your hole into the aluminum, drill a smaller hole into the bottom little plywood of your heli, and then place 2 or 3 drops of cyano or super glue onto the wood so that it hardens. So when you screw it in, it will be there in place. It's much stronger that way and it won't come loose. So just remember to put super glue at the bottom so that your wood will be nice and hard. Further than that, then you guys are good to go. Bolt it in. If you look at the back here, the motor will fit perfectly and it won't touch any side. And yes, the last piece as well, when you put your back tail on, the holes are drilled to the top to the bottom. You must have left to right. But what I did was I actually had of all my aeroplanes, the back part of a mounting for the server at the back for your elevators, ailerons. This is the back part where I drilled exact those 2 lines on the blade as well and inside, and you insert this in the back and you put a grub screw right through, so it just pulls it, so you have a back plate at the back holding it tight, and that will be sufficient to hold this little tail exactly where you want it. And guys, yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I'm going to have some fun. This is an awesome little heli and it looks beautiful in the air and I love it. Thank you guys. Bye.